guys think about this? Now, I've talked at length with you guys about SST. You guys are all familiar with SST. You guys experienced, well, tonight was an example of SST. Tonight was, I had to work. So that's SSET. This usually when like we run 5 minutes late, stuff like that, that's Sean Street time. Because outside of my weddings, and I'm trying to adapt and I'm trying to apply this to another dumb show, but I'm having a hard time sometimes. I'm never late for any of my weddings. Obviously, I get there like an hour and a half, 2 hours early for most of them, so it'd be like impossible to be late. But I'm never like pushed for time. I'm always giving myself super extra amount of time for all these weddings. And I think that is only because of years and years of time sickness that I've dealt with. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with time sickness, but I believe that's what SST is a byproduct of time sickness. And I'm going to play this video for you guys, and I think that you guys will agree with me that time sickness is a real thing. Oh, thank you, Scott78. There's a nice super fan donation in there. It says, hey, Dumb, here's a little something to put towards your date. Great show, man. Thanks. Yeah. Who knows if I'll end up getting a date? I don't know. Maybe I got to go on the dating apps again. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows what I got to do at this point? I don't know what to do. Maybe I don't know what to do. But in the meantime, thank you, Scott. I appreciate the donation very much. It really helps support another dumb show. But again, time sickness, guys. It's a real thing.
So I just got yelled at for asking a very reasonable question.
And this is a girl who was trying to get a job, by the way. This is her reaction to what happened in a job interview.
So I just got yelled at for asking a very reasonable question. So I'm applying to go somewhere, and I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time, you know? And then the person I was with interrupted and acted like I was asking something else, and then when we were done, they actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job. You know, provided you're trying your absolute best to be there. And then they're like, your stupid generation wants to destroy the workplace. And yeah, I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time, when there's other solutions that we can look to, I think that just anybody who thinks it's okay to just treat people like that, yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled. And then I asked that person, how can you feel good about yourself upholding this kind of system? And then to think I'm entitled. No, if people think it's okay to treat others like this, that's entitlement.
So I love this so much. This girl, I love it because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wish this was a real thing. I wish that there were accommodations for people with time blindness, because I really believe that for a very long time in my life, I suffered from time blindness. It had nothing to do with Gen Zers or anything like that. And I was a job jumper for the longest time. Before I got into radio, I had like 35 different jobs or something like that. Many of them lost because I was late all the time. And I just did not really understand time very well at that point in my life. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I didn't understand that, like, you couldn't wake up, like if you had to be at work at 10 and you lived 10 minutes away from your job, you can't get up at 9:49 and make it to your car and get into your car and drive to work and be on time. Like, there was something in my brain that didn't click that would say, no, Sean, you have to get up at 9:30 to at least give yourself a chance to go to the bathroom, like literally take a shit in the morning, put on clothes. If your clothes aren't clean, maybe throw them in the dryer and fluff them because you're living like a 19, 20-year-old bachelor or whatever. I'm telling you guys, I had time blindness. I believe this is a real thing, because it took me until I got older, and it took me losing so many jobs or maybe it took me till I found a job I actually cared enough about. Maybe that's what it was. But something clicked in my head to where I'm like, I have to actually get up early enough to get myself together and get ready before I have to get in the car and go to my actual job. It's not literally roll out of bed 1 minute before you need to get in the car and go. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure this out as an adult. Maybe it was just straight laziness. I don't know. But I 100% totally believe time sickness is a real thing. And Pat Wooey, I'll get to your superfan donation there in just a sec. Let's see. Amanda says, I hope she gets fired from every job. I've been fired from every job because of this. I'm 40 and I have never been on time. So Amanda, I feel your pain, hon. It could be a real pain in the ass if you got time blindness. So time blindness is a real thing, guys. Brap Attack said it's ridiculous. Nope. CB said it's legit, not that hard to get to places on time. I bet you when you were younger it was. I bet you were late for shit when you were younger. That used to happen all the time. Amanda says she just can't get to work on time ever. Nugget Man says early is on time. Yeah, this is why I couldn't have been in the military, bro. My dad used to always try to get me to be in the military or be a cop or something. And I'm like, you really think I'm going to give a shit about what time somebody tells me to get out of bed or something like that? Go fuck yourself. I'm going to sleep a little bit longer and be late. I'll be there in a little bit. You guys start the push-ups without me, okay? So the time blindness girl, I'm with her. I understand her pain. And now she did come out and respond to this. She came out and mentioned what she felt was, the criticisms, her answer to the criticisms that she's been getting from people like I think Brap and other ones in there. So here you go. Here is, I don't know. I just call her the time blindness girl. I don't even know her name.
So this is something that you guys have been asking for a while now, and I just want to apologize for not answering it sooner. So honestly, when I was asking, what I was hoping for was a 15-minute window and more times you're allowed to be late. And after that video came out, people have stitched and given some really good advice about even more accommodations, like having an expectation time that I didn't think of. They also gave tips on how to utilize clocks and alarms even more so than I already was. So did I make the video because I'm selfish and I think that everyone must bend their time to me because I don't respect anyone's time? No. I just think that schools and businesses have a higher obligation to God, and I think that their first responsibility needs to be to care for other people, and if those people are struggling, then they need to reach out to them and ask, okay, how can we help you? What can we do to work on this? So I just think that other people's struggles and getting them help needs to come before profit. Do I think that them and their time doesn't matter either? Absolutely not.
Oh, wow. So it's godly to be late. Apparently, or it's godly to be okay with people being late. Look, every place I've ever worked where I've got fired from, it was always the same thing. They're going to give you a warning at first. Some of these places have like ridiculous ass rules, like you're late 3 times and you get fired. That's just get the fuck out of here. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because especially like 3 times, there could be 3 traffic jams in a week. I mean, that just can happen. That's crazy. But their answer is, well, if you weren't late the first time, the other 2 times wouldn't have mattered. And you're like, well, the first time, sorry, I overslept. I'm a normal human being. I failed to set my alarm properly, all that kind of stuff. So I will admit, a lot of the times when I was younger, my time blindness did have to do with my alarm not being set because I was completely ripped and drunk from the night before. So I'm being a little bit honest about that. But no, time blindness is a real thing. I'm very happy that I was able to kind of overcome that because it used to, like I said, it really affected my life. And then when I got a job in like radio where, especially like where I'd have to run best of and run the board and stuff like that, and you cannot be late because everything's super timed. I think that's where I finally learned like there was no margin for error. You couldn't be late for it because if you're late, the whole show starts late, and that's just not doable. Versus like if you show up 5 minutes late to a fucking restaurant, who cares? You're there in the middle of the day anyway. You clock in, you're fucking punched in. You're gonna you're 5 minutes late to go to cut peppers before. So many chords. Hello, welcome to Another Dumb Show. I am Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for streaming on my tube tonight. Welcome to issue number 83. It feels so good to have you guys here streaming on my tube. I love it so much. You know how great it is to have you guys all here with me. I hope you guys had a great day. I had a great day today. Woke up, got to sleep in and finally catch up a little bit from over the weekend. I went to work right away, started doing a bunch of prep for the show, and then I went ahead and I decided to take a little bit of nap, another little nap, try to get myself totally caught up on sleep because, man, I was really struggling after this weekend, man, between work over the past few days and not being able to get to sleep properly. It was a rough few nights, so I was finally able to get to sleep. Darla's already chirping away on her toy over there, so I'm gonna have to take one of her toys away and be a jerk. Beanarina, Darla, can you take that upstairs? Beans, Darla, thank you. If we could not squeak all night. Sorry guys, you know how it is with that dog. There's really not, that's all that dog loves are those damn squeaky toys, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I guess we'll just have to deal with it. But anyway, so yeah, good day today, man. The phones are working, 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. Give me a call, open lines America. You know, I'd love to hear from you guys, see what you guys have been up to. Shout out to Strawberry Charlie. He was first in the chat today, so I appreciate that. Thank you for being first, my dude. So let's see, my weekend. Started off on Friday. Obviously, we didn't do a show on Friday because I went to the Browns game. So I do owe you guys an apology. I mentioned that I would probably do either another drunk show on Friday night after my event, or after the Browns game, excuse me, or I would do a show for you guys on Sunday. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Got way too drunk Friday night, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. Then Sunday, I was just tired. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was completely whipped from the weekend. Friday night, I went to the Browns game. My buddy Craig invited me to go to the Browns game. Craig's my buddy that takes me to all my nerd stuff, all this shit right here, all these Superman things, all these Batman things. He's the resident Batman expert and Batman freak. I'm a Superman freak. Like I said, Craig has all kinds of cool stuff. He's got like a false wall with a little statue to help go down the stairs like Batman does to get down to the Bat Cave. So he's got his man cave downstairs, and it's all covered with Batman stuff everywhere. It's really, really cool. So it was good to get the invite from him because I feel like I owe him so much because he's taken me to so many things, and I've taken this dude to nothing. I've done nothing for him. I think maybe I got him tickets to a festival or something even in the past. I don't even know. But I feel bad. I feel like I owe this dude something. I don't get passes to stuff or go to a bunch of games or anything like that. So I don't know what to do to pay him back, but I definitely feel like I definitely owe him because anytime he used to do movie reviews on like Facebook, and he was able to get in really close with the movie premiere, all the promotions companies here that do the movie premieres. So anytime there's any kind of movie that has anything to do with Superman, where even Superman just might be mentioned, basically, he gives me a early premiere pass. And we go see it, and it's literally the only thing I will stand in lines for. I have told you guys in the past, I hate lines more than anything. And I go out of my way to avoid, really, like I don't go to Cedar Point. I don't go to any of that stuff because I really can't stand lines at all. But I'll stand in line for a Superman movie to get, early access to go see a Superman movie before everyone else, before it's available, just because I'm obsessed with it. So that last Flash movie, he took me to go see that. So I got to go see that movie early. So that was really nice of him to do that. So I got to figure out some way to pay him back one of these days. So it was me, him, his daughter, and then we met one of his friends, another one of his friends that does the nerd stuff with us, Drew. Really, really, really nice guy. Um, so they came to pick me up. Because I texted him. I said, "Hey, dude, what do you want to drop your car off here and Uber down?" Because I didn't know his daughter was coming at that point. And I said, "Because I'm planning on having some beers." So when he texted me back and he was like, "I'll just drive us down because he can park at the JC," which I was thinking for a sec. I was like, "You can park at the Jesus Christ? Is that what he calls his church down there?" And then I realized, no, he's a 911 dispatcher and he's able to park down at the Justice Center downtown. So we had pretty good parking, a pretty short walk over to the stadium, which was nice. It was weird parking in the Justice Center for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm usually not a big fan of that place. I used to call that place the Hive. I still call it. That's the Hive downtown. Every time I drive by it, my arm hairs stand up, makes me all weird because it's the courts and everything. It's where I've had to go for my county tax stuff and everything. I hate that place. But so we parked there reluctantly, but because it was free and it was a shorter walk, so we parked there. And on the way there, all of a sudden I noticed I wore jeans because I was like, I don't know, I'm like a jeans guy when I go to those kind of games because people spill stuff and whatever. I just don't like wearing shorts unless it's a bazillion degrees. So I was like, oh, I think I'll be okay wearing jeans. And I start walking and it's a little warm. And then I'm like, maybe these jeans were a bad idea. And then I look over to my left and I see just black, this absolute black sky over the lake to the west of us. And I go, ooh, wow, look at those clouds. And right about that moment, I start to see everybody do this as they're walking. And we're all at the same time doing the same thing. We're all checking the radar because it looked very ominous off to the west of us. So the line started moving a little bit quicker. Everybody's feet were moving a little faster, and we pitter-pattered our way into the stadium finally. We got inside. There was, he took his daughter. I don't know if that was their first time. So they wanted to go to the pro shop, and they gave her the full experience like you're supposed to do as a dad. So God love them. But I didn't feel like going to the pro shop. There's this long-ass line for the pro shop. So I said, I'm going to stand outside. I'm going to drink beer while they go in the pro shop. So I went, and the beer stand right directly across from it, Bud Light stand. So guess what? I really forgot myself a Bud Light, guys. So I was feeling really light on my feet the rest of the night, for sure. But I got to tell you guys, people were saying, like, I know there were pictures going around of how the Bud Light stand was empty at the Sturgis motorcycle rally, and nobody was getting any Bud Light, and it was a big thing that went viral over the weekend. I forgot to pull the picture, but there were lots of Bud Lights flowing at that Browns game. Let me tell you. I mean, I saw so many Bud Light things getting cranked on, so many other things getting poured that day. So I think Bud Light will end up being okay in the end. There's a lot of beers getting served that day. A lot of Bud Lights in particular, actually. So, I ended up, while I was standing there, while they were in the pro shop line, I pounded 2 beers, or pounded 1 beer and got a second beer, because I actually got 2, because I got 1 for my buddy and 1 for me, and they were so cold and so perfect. I murdered the first one, and I had already taken a sip out of the other one because it was starting to. It was so like tipsy when they filled it literally right to the tippity top. So I had to sip it to walk with it. So I was like, fuck it, I already drank some of this dude's beer. So I had to go back and get him another beer. And I ended up killing that second beer that I had sipped out of. So in the time they were in the pro shop, I killed 1 beer and, took down most of my second one. So that was pretty nice. I was feeling pretty good within the first, 20 minutes of being there. If that, 10 minutes, really. From there, I went to, he started checking the tickets, and we figured out where we were sitting, and we realized that we were in the 7-Up Club. We were on the club seats, baby. So that was a really nice surprise. A lady he's friends with, I guess who works for, she's way high up in a company here in town, got these really nice tickets, gave them to him, and he didn't even realize how good they were. So it turned out to work out to be so good that we were in the club seats because that black ominous cloud that I talked about, right as we got up, and if you've never been to the club seats at the Browns Stadium, it's really cool because you know you go to a normal stadium, or normal part of the stadium, you walk in, it's the concrete, everything, it's concrete beam, concrete floors. It's kind of open. There's no seats. It's just basically an aisle to get you in and out with some food and some concessions and some merchandise and stuff all along the way. You go into the club section, it's covered. There's places to sit. There's a bar. Literally when I say place to sit, it's like a cafeteria kind of, but it's a beautiful, nice cafeteria with these bar tables and everything. So it's really, really nice. So as soon as we got up there was already a lot of people in a lot of the tables. So I said, we got to find a table right away, or we're going to be, we're not going to have anywhere to sit, especially if the rain starts. So we're walking, and I see a table open, and I beeline towards it. And right as I do, some chick comes up and steals it. And I'm like, damn it. And she literally, she slid in right in front of me. It was like, I could have argued about it because it was all, but it wasn't worth it. So I said, fine. So we just kept walking, and we ended up finding like one of those bar tables where it was enough for people, like maybe like 8 people around it. And one half of it only had 3 people. And I wouldn't have done this, but my buddy walked up and he was like, hey, do you mind if we take the other half of this table? And they were like, yeah, sure. So that worked out nice. So we posted up at this bar table, and thank God we got this spot, because right as we got there, posted up there, because we were going to have something to eat before we went to the seats, the TVs put up this sign for us all to see. And this is actually a picture of what happened in the stadium. But that black, attention please, severe weather is approaching, please seek shelter immediately, that popped up on all the TVs around the stadium and inside the club section. And I look up, and all of a sudden I just see a mass exodus of people coming in from the people that had all gone outside, because this was pre-kickoff, but there were plenty of people that were already in the seats already. And man, all these people came just flooding in at that point. So then what turned into, sitting at the table, kind of like enjoying yourself, it turned into guarding the table, because now we couldn't casually just kind of like, and all the lines, of course, everybody came in to get food and drinks and everything like that. So the lines just grew, which sucked. So it just turned into guarding the goddamn table all night. So my buddy and his daughter would go off to get food, and then I would sit at the table, and then the other guy would go get food, and then I'd be at the table by myself, and then one of them would come back, and then I would go get beer. And then, but the whole time it was just us standing in line waiting to come back to the table to hold the table until the rain stopped. So that kind of sucked, I'm not going to lie. Finally, the rain slowed down enough for us to get, and I'll be honest with you, we were there, when I say we were standing there waiting, I think it was at least an hour. It felt like forever. It felt like, I didn't check the time because I would go nuts, but it just felt like forever. Standing there waiting for everyone. And it's just like, sitting there on your phone, you don't want to do that. Like, you could do it while they walk away, but when everybody comes back, you want to talk and be interactive. And then it just turns into people watching, and you're looking, hot chicks and stuff like that. And then you're like having casual small talk with the people at the table with you, that kind of stuff. So, which wasn't bad. The people were actually kind of nice over there, but I felt bad because there was like these 2 teenage boys sitting at this table who were just like late teens too, who were annoyed they were there with their moms in the first place. And then and they were like the teenage kids who had their hair down over their eyes too. Like they were not interested in being social with people at all. So I'm trying to talk and be social with their moms and stuff. And I wasn't like hitting on them because I wasn't interested in them, but it was just, we're just trying to talk and be interactive. And like, you tell the kids were just like annoyed that we were talking to their mom and that their mom was talking to us. And it was, I felt bad for them. So those kids ended up disappearing. Some other random strangers came and sat in their seats. So then we did end up finally, after a while, the rain finally stopped. And when I say there were a lot of people in there, by the way, this was insane. There were people sitting on the floor eating food with people literally stepping over them in the hall. It was so smashed into this place, and people found the oddest places to just sit down. They just like were plopping anywhere, waiting for people to leave the tables, and we weren't leaving our table. Sorry, I know you have food in your hand, but I got people, just because there's no food in front of me and there's a couple empty chairs, doesn't mean you're coming to sit here and putting your food down. I thought about letting people, maybe because I was kind of standing and like leaning on my chair, because I don't like to really sit in the chair. Kind of thought about giving it up, but that was a footrest, so why'd I give it up? So that was really fun, just sitting there doing nothing for an hour. That was kind of a bummer. So I felt bad for my friend. I think he feels like he had to like entertain a little bit or whatever. I'm like, no, dude, I don't like. I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean? The experience was nice. I was having a good time drinking and stuff, so that was nice. Had a really fun bartender. Couldn't tell if she was drunk or not, but apparently she'd been working there for 24 years, and everybody in the club section knows this lady. It's the lady on the left, for anybody who goes to the bar in the club section, but everybody seems to love her and know her very well. But I thought she was completely loaded. I'm pretty sure she was pretty drunk. But when I finally made it to the seats, guys, saw some actual football. The Browns, well, they didn't look real impressive. I'm not going to lie. Was nothing very impressive. I'll be honest with you, I was so pissed off that they even bothered to play Deshaun Watson, because the field was soaking wet. It was ripe for a chance of injury. I know they made everybody wait, and that it was really going to be the only actual live football that they were going to see in all of preseason. But still, why even put him out there? Just on the chance you could slip and tweak a knee or tweak a hamstring or something in that slippery ass field. So it's kind of stupid that they put him out there. But I will say, he was exciting to watch. He made, there were a few broken plays, and he scrambled, and one play he actually like took a hit, and I like freaked out because I was like, oh my God, he took a hit. So that'll be interesting all season long to see how that goes. But a lot of spread football, a lot of spread formations, which I found weird. I don't even know if Chubb was playing, to tell you the truth. And there's one point where we're on the goal line, and we didn't run a power formation. We ran like an off tackle play out of shotgun. For those of you who don't know what that means, that's a really stupid play to run on the goal line because you don't have as good of a chance of scoring. So that was really fucking stupid. I don't know why we did that. So play calling was weird. Obviously, you don't want to show anything in preseason, so maybe that's why they just did that random goal line play. But line got no movement. There was no scoring. And then right then and there, right at that point, it started to rain again. And I said to myself, you know what? This rain is not going to stop. And I have now at that point probably had, I would say a good 6, 7 beers. I was feeling pretty good at that point because, we were just standing there doing nothing. And when I would go up back to the bar, I was grabbing 2 beers at a time because the line was long. So I was pretty wrecked by the time we got, not wrecked, but just pretty tipsy by the time we got to halftime. And I knew we were not going to, Schaefer said that. Watson ran it a few times. It was too risky. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all, that Watson was running the ball. But so, yeah, I was pretty drunk. And I knew the second half was going to be a bunch of scrubs, and I didn't know what the rain situation was going to be. So I kind of pulled a move that I do every once in a while when I get drunk, which is just like the phantom exit. And I forgot to bring up too. I got the worst hiccups of my life. I could not stop hiccuping. It was like this tiny little, just this little one. It wasn't like a big, huge hiccup where there's just this big thing you can just get out and a pop or whatever. Eventually you'll be fine. No, it's just this little tiny one that was like kind of frequent, and it was really uncomfortable, and it was driving me nuts. I couldn't hold my breath to make it work. Obviously, there was nobody to like scare me to make it go away or anything like that, all the stupid hiccup tricks. But usually I can hold my breath. Like I do this trick where I go, and I do that, and then I hold my breath right after that. And usually that gets the bubble to pop or move enough that the hiccup goes away. Not this time. Just hiccuping and I couldn't take it anymore. So I finally said, maybe I'm just going home. I'm going to go home, and maybe if I burn one, it'll get this to go away. Because like I ripped a vape to try to see if that would fix it. That wouldn't, which is pretty neat, by the way. Speaking of a vape, I was able to walk into the stadium. Like I had a vape in my pocket. They don't pat you down or anything anymore. You just walk in, and there's like this. You don't even see the scanners, but apparently it's doing some sort of X-ray on you when you walk in, and you just keep walking. You don't even have to put your hands up, nothing. You just walk right on in. And there's two people standing at podiums, and they're basically just monitoring you guys walking through these scanners, or all of us walking through. And that was it. And they know what's on you, and I guess they're just looking for knives or guns or bombs or whatever. But yeah, it was pretty interesting walking in. But so I pulled one of my phantom moves where I just got an Uber, and I ended up Ubering home because I couldn't take any more with the hiccups, and I didn't want to watch a bunch of third and fourth stringers playing in bad weather conditions, which meant a lot of crappy running plays. So I kind of bailed on my buddy. I feel bad because he was kind enough to give me the ticket. And I don't feel like I wasted it. I did have a good time for the first half of it. And, you know, it is a preseason game. It didn't really matter. So it's not like I wasted it. And I feel like if I'd have just stayed there, I would have just ended up drinking more, and I would have ended up puking in his car. So I'm glad that I ended up making the decision to Uber home, because it was time for me to hit it. Plus, I had a pretty awesome thing scheduled for me to do on Saturday. So I wasn't able to do speaking of football, by the way, I sent out the Another Dumb Fantasy Football League information today. So those of you who sent any information in, who said you wanted to be a part of it, check your email, because I did send you guys a reply with how we're going to do it, when the draft day details are, what day I'd like to do the draft, the buy-in details, all that good stuff. So check your email. Pat Wooey is one of the only ones who's gotten back to me so far. I think Chris did as well. So just a few people who have gotten back to me yet. So guys, make sure if you want to be a part of Another Dumb Fantasy Football League, I literally actually have one slot left. Pat Wooey's buddy can do it, but I don't know if he's like a listener, if he's a fan. I'd like to have one of the actual members of the league do it. So, or just somebody who's a fan of the show. You don't have to be in the chat to do it, but just somebody who watches and wants to be a part of Another Dumb Fantasy Football League. I got one slot left, $100 buy-in. It could be worth it, because if you win, if we get all 12 people, it's $900 for the winner, $200 for second place, and $100 for third. So you come in third place, you get your money back. And we talked about doing some kind of punishment for it. For the last place, there were some fun ideas that got sent in. I like the ideas, so we'll come up with something. I don't think we'll make it too crazy. Maybe if I come in last, the punishment will be a little bit heavy. But if one of you guys comes in last, or Mikey, maybe me and Mikey, it's a little bit heavy. But for one of you guys, we'll make it kind of fairly tame or fun. That way we're not like because I don't want people to be turned off from the league because they got too much, they're worried about the punishment or something like that. We're not going to beat you guys up or shoot you with paintballs or anything like that. I would feel bad doing that. So that's the fantasy football update. I hope we get one more person, and I hope to hear back soon from everybody so we can get the league all squared away. So again, that's what happened Friday night. I went to the Browns game. Thanks again, my buddy Craig, for taking on me. I really appreciate it, Craig. It was a good time, and sorry I left early. But it was a good time. It was really fun, and I don't even know if the Browns ended up winning or not. I don't know. I don't give a shit about preseason. I don't keep track of score really. So, so I mentioned that I had a fun thing scheduled on Saturday. I think many of you guys know. the couple who used to be on Another Dumb Show on the first go round prior to the great flood of 2022. They Allie and Dan, Allie Rose and Dan the Sound Man, they both they got married on Saturday, and I DJ'd their wedding and provided the photo booth and uplighting for the event. And it was, I think I saw Allie describe it in the chat as a banger, and I couldn't agree more. I thought it was a really great time. Why is this not opening? Hold on one sec. Sorry, I was trying to open up a picture. So yeah, Allie and Dan, they got married on Saturday. They got married at a really beautiful event center. It's a place that I'd like to work at. One of the reasons I love working there is it's run by a bunch of old crotchety Irish ladies who, I'm not lying to you, man. Every other word that comes out of their mouth is fuck. Like when they're getting ready and like setting up before the event, they're the most foul ass mouth women I've ever heard in my life. And it wasn't this time only. They do this every time I'm there. And this isn't the only event center they run. They run a few of them, and they're always the same way. Just everything. They're just foul mouth Irish ladies, and it cracks me up every time I see them. So the place was beautiful. They had it decorated so very nice. And then I was able to bring my uplights in and add a little bit more to the already beautiful decoration that they'd put together themselves. And got the system all set up and everything. I got there nice and early because I had a feeling they booked me. They booked. I don't care. The event was set to start at 5:30, but I just had a feeling people were going to start getting there at 5. I just had a feeling. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because of the rain or whatever, but I knew it was going to be. I knew it was people were going to start getting there at 5. So my daughter, she actually ran the photo booth for me, and she did a fantastic job as always. She's so good at engaging with guests and getting them. We have like a scrapbook that we have them fill out. Like when the photo booth prints out that little strip, it goes into a scrapbook that we provide, and they glue the little photo strip in, and then she gets a guest to write a little note with it. So it's really nice. And she does a really good job making sure they write a note and all that good stuff. And she's really engaging with them. And so I'm very proud of her. She did a great job. So everything went so good at the event. I mean, everything was set up so nicely. Everything went so smoothly. Allie looked absolutely beautiful. She looked like she had one of the cool thing, a unique thing I've not seen before, with a veil that was almost like a hood. It was like, the veil is like kind of that see-through. I don't even know what type of material it is, but it's like that see-through kind of mesh stuff, veil material. But she had it like a hood that also like came down like a cape behind her, and like with her like gown and everything, she kind of looked like a forest fairy nymph princess. So that was really cool. She looked really, really pretty. Makeup was really good. Like she looked fire. She looked really good. And then I see this guy, short guy. I didn't really recognize him from behind. And I'm looking around. I'm looking for Dan. I'm looking for this guy with this beautiful long mane of hair. Because I don't know if you remember, Dan the Sound Man had this beautiful long, we're talking like Joe Walsh, James Gang hair. That's who he looked like, Joe Walsh from the James Gang back in the day, with the long hair like halfway down his back, along his shoulders or whatever. And all of a sudden this dude turns around on Saturday and it's Dan. He'd cut all his hair off. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And here's this handsome young man in front of me. And he looked great. It was so nice. He had this swooped hair going on. He had like reminded me almost kind of like my hair when I don't put a bunch of stuff in it, just a nice swoop. He looked great. So it was so good. He gave me the biggest hug that got it. Like, I swear to God, his hug almost made me start crying because he gave me the biggest hug. So that was really cool. It's a good, it's a good family. It's a good group, and I'm getting choked up because they made me feel like part of the family. And I always love when that happens at events. It's such a great feeling because it means you're doing something right. You know what I mean? You're connecting, you're doing all the right things. And so they really made me feel like I was part of the family. So that was fantastic. So thank you to you guys' families. And it was just so cool because we got to do a little fun thing, and I got choked up that night when we did it. I played, well, let's see. I think I got it right here. I don't know if I can play it without sending us to break, but I have Dan's, what am I doing here? I bumped something. Sorry about that. Well, actually, hold on one sec. I might have it right here. Chill. Actually, you know what? I don't know how to play that without screwing everything up. Oh, wait, hold on one sec. I know what to do. I know how to play that. Hold on one sec. I know I can play that. So here it is. So that night, I played the infamous. Here we go. Where is it? Here we go. So this played during the event at one point because Allie wanted to honor Dan and give him a little bit of love for all his talented work. And his dad came up to me at one point. Let's see. I don't know how to do this. If I cut away, it's going to shut off, but that's just the way I have this all set up. So I think I can turn it on for a sec. There you go. So this is, I played this because I wanted to honor Dan. Or Allie did, and I thought it would be a really fun thing to do. And I got a little bit choked up when I was mentioning this because earlier in the night during dinner, Dan's dad had come up to me, and his dad was just gushing about Dan, and it just was so like the pride that his dad has in him is so cool. And it was like, I was like, God damn, I wish my dad talked about me like that. Now, maybe he does when I'm not around. I don't know. But God, it made me just feel so, because he was just so proud of Dan. So it was just so cool. And it was just such a close family event. And everybody had just so much fun. It was really cool. I enjoyed it very much. And I was proud to be a part of their day. And let's see, I think I might have another picture here from the event. But yeah, pardon me, guys. I'm sorry I get choked up. These events I do get like a little emotional at some of these events sometimes because, I'm just a sap. I love love. I just love love. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little bit of a sap. And with everything that's going on with my situation, I get emotional because I was supposed to be married and stuff by now, at least I thought, so I get a little bit emotional at the weddings. But here's a fun picture from the photo booth. It's not like any of our props or anything, but I think I actually have a couple of those pictures too I can pull up too. But here is a fun picture from the photo booth. That's Allie on the left, and there's Dan with his fresh new cut. That's right. I forgot at one point, Allie busted out her roller skates, and she's rolled around and was dancing in her roller skates, doing like interpretive dance to Cuff It. But I did play. Do you guys remember that? That song? I got a brand new pair of roller skates. I played that song because I can't. Anytime I see a pair of roller skates now, it makes me think of on the old show on RMG when we did the strip off between all the guys on the show, and Chocolate Charlie came rolling out to that song wearing Daisy Dukes and roller skates. And now anytime I see a pair of roller skates, it makes me think of that song. So it was a good time that night. Everybody seemed to have a really good time. It was interesting because it was one of these weddings where I feel like it was a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with this, this happens at a lot of different weddings where I felt like there was a significant amount of people who didn't really know each other, um, which can happen at weddings. It's just one of those things. Where's this at? Oh, that's right here. I put the pictures over here. Give me one sec, guys. So here's another fun one. Here's a picture from the photo booth. Hold on. It's all zoomed in. I can't see it. Hold on. Yeah, everybody enjoyed themselves very much. Hold on. This is all screwy. It's not shaped for this. So here's another picture from, here's a picture from the photo booth. Whoop, oh, you want that one, wrong one. How about that? There's the full picture. So that's in the guys. There's Allie and Dan in the middle. That's Allie's maid of honor and one of the groomsmen. My God, why am I having a brain fart? Marina. And then and Zach. That's actually my daughter's fiance's boyfriend, right? Or cousin. I mean, my daughter's fiance's cousin right there, too. So that's not the other picture I was showing. I wanted to show you guys this one too. Hold on, here's this one too. There they are. There's Marina and Zach. There you go. So that's the photo booth. Those are some of the fun props. That's what people do. That's what I do when I'm not doing this, guys. I'm getting people married and having all kinds of fun stuff doing that. So, oh, I hear down there. Perfect. God, your timing's impeccable, my dude. So congratulations, real quick, as we wrap that up, to Allie and Dan. I hope I got a really nice text from Allie on Sunday, and I apologize I didn't reply to you on Sunday. I put everything in Do Not Disturb on Sunday, and I'll explain that to you. Diz is in there telling Allie, Diz is giving Dan advice in the chat. He says, Allie is very pretty, but Dan, you got to learn how to make sandwiches for her or something, man. She is going to blow away. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was, now he's saying Allie's thin. I read that wrong. I thought he was saying Allie was so pretty, but Dan better do something to like take good care of her or she's going to blow away. I didn't read that totally wrong. Not funny now, Diz. No body shaming, whether it's thin or big. There's nothing that makes a thin girl more annoyed than when you tell them to eat a cheeseburger or eat a sandwich, Diz. They hate that. I know B1 used to get so pissed off. Allie said that, dude, that was the best photo booth at any event. Hell yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That thing can be the bane of my existence sometimes. I worry about that because I'm not standing there operating it. Not that I don't trust my daughter, but I can't, it's hard for me to be away from the actual booth and trusting that it's running properly because it's a computer. You know how computers are. They just can be weird. Stuff goes wrong. It's connected to the printer. It runs out of paper. Everything that could go wrong with something, I'm always just sitting there worrying about it, and I'm not on top of it, babysitting it. So that thing really drives me crazy, just worrying about it. But it's wonderful that you loved it so much. That always makes me so... that makes me happy. Allie said that she's so tiny she could fit a thing that was designed to be worn as a crown. There's like a Wonder Woman crown in there. She was able to wear it around her waist. So yes, that is a very, very tiny person. Yep, I love it. Yep. Dan says, thank you for everything, Sean. You're the man. You really made our night. Nah, it's my pleasure. You guys were great. Your families were great. I mean, seriously, two of the nicest families I've ever met. And the thing that I was saying too, at this wedding, it seemed like there were a lot of people that didn't really know each other. So there were different pockets of people dancing at different times. And this happens at a lot of weddings. So it was a little bit of a challenge at times to try to make sure I get all the must plays in that Allie wants. Make sure that the guests who aren't maybe feeling some of what Allie wants, make sure then they get some of what they want. So it was a little bit of a balance to try to make everybody kind of happy. And then it was like typical event, the normal, like the people who didn't really like some of the kind of urban stuff as the night went on, they kind of started to exit. And that's just the way it goes at a lot of these events. There's people who just don't like music that gets a little thumpity, you know what I'm saying? So that's it. So, there were line dances going on for sure. Lots of line dances, of course. That's, you know how that goes at a wedding. All the line dances, of course. I meant to take a picture I wanted to get a picture of Allie roller skating, but I was too busy working, and I hate taking photo that's doing that shit while I'm working because it makes me feel like a douche because I'm supposed to be working and I'm walking around with a camera. Just never like doing that while I'm working. So, having said all of that, it does look like my main man Mikey is back from bowling this evening, and boy, he is all garbed up and ready for the NFL season.
Oh,
Mikey,
let's
what
go,
is
baby.
up? Look at this guy. Viking
Let's
skull.
go.
Go. I love it. He's got his flag hanging up. He's got his
Oh,
blanket on the couch. Got the skull
the
shirt
skull
on.
right here. Let's go.
He is ready to go. I love it. Did you get my email I sent you today, dude, with all the deets and stuff?
What? No, I didn't get
All
any
right.
email.
Don't worry about it. You
I
might
haven't
not.
looked at my. I haven't looked at my email yet today.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. You don't need to check it. It's just basically all the stuff we already talked about. I just put into an email for everybody and just gave everybody the details for the buy-in and the league, and because we got one slot left. I think Pat Wooey might have a buddy that wants to join in and fill it, but like I said, I'd like to get somebody from one of our fans to do it, to jump in and do it. So, but either way, which looks like we're going to have 12, as long as everybody
Yes.
gets their buy-in in. So. We could have a nice league with a nice little chunk of change at the end of the football season. So, and you said you're in 3 leagues, so you could walk with some considerable.
No, thank God, I just got kicked out of the league. I was just asked to join.
How'd you get kicked out?
Oh, dude, the guy that invited me into the league after I joined, set up my little custom image, everything like that. 3 days later, he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, my bad. I feel like a dick, but I guess 2 weeks ago when I was drunk, I promised somebody they can get into the league, and they just texted me today." And I was like, "That's fine, bro. You just saved me $250."
There you go. Perfect. Well, then you can get in on this one and not have to worry about all that. Perfect. Good stuff. Good. I hope we can get that filled because I'd love. I mean, there's a couple different options I saw. I can only get there's 12 people. I can only get 8 people on vMix at a time. At the most, but I can put 3 people on the phone. So and then me on camera here locally, that comes out to 12. So that would actually work out. We could do that. Now, of course, it would all depend on if the phones are working. And I believe the phones are working today. Today. I don't know. Wow, that was a weird. They stopped working. They were working earlier, and then they just stopped working as soon as I said that they're working. So that's perfect. Anyway, that's that's the hiccup that I'm worrying about is if something like that happens that day. But I think I could dial out and it'll work. It always works when I dial out. It's incoming for whatever that has an issue for God knows what reason. So hopefully we can get that, either do it live or we just pop it up on the screen and just show the actual live draft, on the browser.
Yeah.
With just me and you down in the corners.
And we can see where the picks are coming in and who's picking what,
Yep.
which is getting a lot better right now. Everything's getting a little bit more settled with all these free agent running backs finally signing their deals.
Yeah, Zeke's going to the Patriots is what I think I saw right before the show, right?
Dalvin just signed with the Jets.
No fucking way. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, on an $8.6 million deal, $7 million guaranteed, 1.6 in incentives.
Is Breece Hall hurt, or are they just going running back by committee kind of thing? Is he still hurt? They're just not trusting that he's going to be as good?
Everything they've said about him is that he's going to be ready to rock week 1. But why do you not go with Dalvin? I mean, the guy's 28 years old with 5,900 yards rushing already. I mean, 1,400 all-purpose yards last year, best season yet.
Wow.
I mean, the guy is coming off of a great year.
Interesting. So any other big signings that I didn't that you saw?
No, I just saw the 2 running backs signed today. I saw Zeke sign with the Patriots, and I seen his new look. He shaved off the mop and cleaned up his beard. He doesn't look like an Ewok no more.
Oh, dude, he's gonna go
back
play. He's gonna have to clean up his act. He's gonna play for Belichick. He's gonna get a real rude awakening over there, buddy.
He's rocking the 15 again for back in the Ohio State days.
Oh, he changed his number, really? Oh, well,
yeah.
Maybe that's him saying that he's going to get turn over a new leaf because isn't he a big stoner?
They're running back by committee there. He's gonna get his touchies this year. He's gonna get touchdowns. I don't think he's a 100-yard game back no more.
He's a stoner, right? Isn't that
so? I think everybody in the NFL is a stoner now.
Okay, but I just thought because I don't know how Belichick feels about that. I just feel like that's not gonna fly real well with him for some reason. But I don't know. Maybe he's
I feel
accepted
like
it.
he's loosened up a little bit because Mac Jones is a little bit of a shit talker and has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And I think, well, I mean, then again, Belichick won't even commit to Mac Jones being the starter yet. Malik Cunningham looked pretty good in that preseason game too.
Oh, see, I haven't watched. Honestly, I haven't watched any preseason football at all. I know it was on this weekend. I just can't watch
Didn't
it.
you go?
Yeah, I well, oh yeah, I did watch some preseason football. I watched one set of downs. There was a
You watched
huge.
Kellen Mond.
Well, no, there was a huge weather alert here. There was a nearly a tornado
You
here,
got to be
and
kidding me.
no, the game got delayed for almost over an hour. Thankfully, my buddy had club section seats, so we were in like this kind of like indoor cafeteria kind of giant bar area. So we sat inside. I went back out when the rain started at kickoff, watched the first set of downs with Deshaun Watson, and then was so drunk by halftime, I Ubered home. So
I knew
that was
coming. That was pent up. One of your homeboys finally hit you up. You were able to go out with that. You got the stress from the relationship and everything going on at the same time. To be honest with you, the first thing I thought was, God, he's going to get kicked out of that stadium.
I was good. Well, he was with his daughter, so I couldn't get too crazy.
So you had to behave a little bit.
Yes, I had to behave, and he's not like a rowdy dude either. You know what I mean? Like that was not a rowdy group that I was hanging out with. These are my nerd friends that go to Superman movies and stuff with me. So, yeah, that was it. So I did watch 3 downs of football and then I left. All right, so
I haven't turned it off. Every preseason game that's been on, I watched it from first snap to last snap.
Well, you're already ahead of the game for the fantasy football league. Then watching all the backups and learning all I mean, there's people I don't know half the people. I need to. I'm gonna have to get Madden just to start figuring out all the ratings on these people and figure out what's legit and who's not.
I got my magazines upstairs. I went out on Saturday and spent $35 in magazines, and I got my highlighters upstairs. Like, are you fucking Adam Schefter?
Oh wow! So you're reading about who's like the best 4th string running back on each team and who's gonna end up being best sleepers?
I've already got my list of players that I want to go after and what round projections I want them at. Right now, I'm looking more at like strength of schedule and history.
Oh man, I better get my act together. Holy crap, you're way ahead of the game here, man. I'm usually at like 12:57 making my final last minute adjustments. I'm one of those guys, so shit, I better I'm going to lose $100.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. The amount of people the amount that it comes down to luck and injuries and everything like that, but I definitely I'm looking to make sure that I don't have bye weeks that coincide with each other, so I'm not scrambling for a running back and a quarterback in the same week, stuff like that.
No, I do say I will do that kind of stuff. I do that much work prior to the draft and stuff. But Pat Wooey's like, Dumb's not a fantasy football magazine. No, I mean, I do it all online. I just go read stuff online, I guess. And that's really where I get most. I don't get a magazine at a store and read it.
The reason I got to get the magazine as well, and I need the paper copies of everything, is we do a live in-person draft every year. So I need to be able to cross names off a list as it goes, so I'm not repicking people and stuff like that.
That's right. I forgot you sent me that thing where you guys got a big board up on a fence and everything, and it's all
I'll send pictures and video again this year too. I've already got my quarter of mushrooms ready to go.
Speaking of mushrooms. That's funny you mentioned mushrooms because I was going to ask you about that today. So wait, you're going to do the draft on boomers?
I ate 10 grams last year and went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Pat Wooey. It seems like Pat Wooey, I think, might give you some competition. It looks like, as from what I'm seeing so far. I'm starting to see Pat Wooey.
I hope
is
he
just
drafts a bunch of Bills players. Isn't he a Bills fan?
No, he's from here. He's
Browns
fan.
Okay.
Fan. Yeah.
All right.
So he'll be. I think you might have some pretty good competition here with him, to be honest with you. Which I think, like I said, you're right. Good. Hold on one second. My chat just disappeared.
I'll probably finish in last. All this fucking work.
Hold on. So one sec, guys. I lost my chat here. I apologize. I know you guys get mad if I lose you, so I don't want to lose it. So yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of mushrooms, so what I was saying too. I have a story. Did you see the story about this woman who killed her family with mushrooms?
No.
Yeah, there's a story that I want to talk about, and I somehow don't know what to do with it, but here it is. Um, yeah, this woman who is a chef, um, she's suspected of a fatal mushroom poisoning, and I think this is in Australia, I believe. But she ended up making beef Wellington, which is like, have you ever had beef Wellington?
I have not, but I know it's Chef Gordon Ramsay's favorite meal.
It's really good. It's like this. It's beef with this
It's
weird.
wrapped
With,
in like a croissant or pastry, and
yeah,
it's
but in the true beef Wellington will have a layer of mushrooms on top, a real thin, very, very, very itty bitty, tiny thin layer of mushroom around the meat, on that piece of like puff pastry that goes around it.
okay.
And this woman made this for her family, her in-laws, and her husband, um, and made the mushrooms with what now they've determined are death's cap mushrooms, which is a specific type of mushroom that apparently is deadly. I've never.
Everything in Australia will kill you.
Yeah,
Like that place, I on my list of places to never go. Nope.
yeah.
Everything there will kill you: spiders, bees, ants, mushrooms, vegetation, fucking everything.
The people too. I mean, they're all.
Yeah.
Aussie Sam says, "Well, the room." Like, I wonder what Aussie Sam thinks about this because he's not in the chat today. But we have one of our listeners from Australia, and I always wonder what he thinks of the story that Australia is just like all of Britain's prisoners. That's the only reason any white people live there is because Britain just dumped all their prisoners there at one point in time, and because it was all a bunch of natives before that. So I don't know if that story's true. I need to probably look more into that, but I think that's what I've heard. But anyway, this woman, what is her name? Erin Patterson allegedly cooked this dish containing the deadly death cap mushrooms. This was back on July 29th, serving it to 4 people at a lunch at her home. Her parents, her former parents-in-law, and her, I guess it would be her aunt-in-law, died from symptoms consistent with death cap mushroom poisoning after the lunch. And her husband, who didn't die, I'm sorry, he's still in the hospital. She's been questioned by the police in the trio's deaths. Now, very strangely, after this happened, she had a conversation with her ex-husband about it, and her ex-husband gave her a hard time because she said something about she used a food processor to cut these mushrooms up,
Mm-hmm.
and her she threw it away because her ex-husband said something to her about oh, is that what you used to kill them with? And I guess according to her, that got her all freaked out about it, and so she threw it away. And then when the police asked her about it, she said, "Oh no, I don't have a food processor. The one I had, I threw away a long, long time ago." She lied to the police about that. So there's the first kind of inconsistency in the whole story. And then another weird thing, the next day, her kids ate, she fed that to her kids, but she scraped the mushrooms off because supposedly the kids don't like mushrooms. So she either...
Would you be worried about some of the mushroom remnants being on there? I mean, unless you're like scrubbing it with some damn...
Well, that's the thing. Do you think she either wasn't trying to kill anybody with these mushrooms, and it was a genuine mistake that she got, because she said she got some of them from a market, like a local store, and then also got weird dried ones from a local Asian market. So
when in doubt, blame the Asians.
she gave them Corona mushrooms, I don't know if she's making this up, like she did try to kill him or she didn't. Obviously, that's what the internet is, going crazy about, whether they're thinking that she tried to off her whole family and then scrape the mushrooms off and fed the food to her kids. Anyway, just in case, not thinking, I don't know, thinking that's what's the weird part of the story is to me. If you're trying to whack your family, well, make the kids eat the mushrooms then. But if not,
so how long did it take these people to get sick or die?
I think like almost instantly because it happened on July 29th. They're already dead.
So they all died from eating this beef Wellington. July 30th, this woman goes up, you know what? Oh, that didn't kill them yesterday. Here you go, kids. Have some breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, have it for lunch the next day. So apparently it must not have been, because it doesn't say in here if it's like overnight, how quickly these people got sick and died. That's actually a good question, Mikey. I don't know the answer to that question. So
this woman's lost it. She's straight up.
She claims
cap short of an eighth.
She claims, I am now devastated to think that these mushrooms may have contributed to the illness suffered by my loved ones. I really want to repeat that I had absolutely no reason to hurt these people whom I love, she said in her new statement. So, yeah, because the internet, and she says, I now very much regret not answering some police questions following this advice, given the nightmare that this process has become. I don't understand the end of that sentence, but, yeah, so we'll see what happens if they end up going after her and finding out if there are any more details. I'll be interested to see if this woman gets charged with something or if it's just going to be determined a total fluke of an accident or something like that. I have no idea. What's that?
No proof. If they got no proof of nothing and the food processor's gone, it's just her word against somebody else's.
Basically, yeah, and I don't know how the justice system works over in Australia or whatever, if it's different than ours, but I'd be interested to see. I'm hoping Aussie Sam will, since he's not in there today, I think he's traveling again across Australia. It'll be interesting to see what he because this is in Melbourne, so I'm sure this is like the biggest. This is a big news there in Australia. I'm sure it's all over if it's made it around here. It's obviously got to be big around there. So I'm wondering what the locals are thinking over there in Australia. I'd love to hear from Sam. So that's it. So Mikey, be careful with your mushrooms. Are you getting them from reputable mushroom procurers?
Not a chance, dude. The shadiest people I think I've ever met in my entire life that run a dispensary.
So that's who knows. You might end up getting. I would always be worried about that.
I get these things. They come in a tin. Hang on, wait 1 second. I can at least show you the tin. So I got this tin, right?
It's hard to see it. There you go. It looks like a tobacco pack.
Yeah. So basically, when you open it up, there's a pull tab and you pull it off like it's cat food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They used to sell when weed first became legal medically here. That's what they would sell the weed in.
So in order to fill these up, I mean, the bottom part just pops right off. So when I just picked these up, I picked up I don't know, 3/4 of an ounce, something like that. There was 4 of them where the bottom part, I just clipped it back together. So I can tell that they had filled it up with whatever their product was.
Oh no, it wasn't like that with the weed. Oh no, that's not good. Oh no, that's not cool, dude. So that's just some dude growing them in his basement that he's repackaging them and saying, oh, at least put some super glue on that shit and make it look like it was sealed shut.
Dude, I don't know. But it didn't sway me from microdosing this morning. I ate a nice little blue cap for breakfast with my coffee.
Nice. And is that how you do it with coffee? Because I last time I did it, I made it with tea, and it was so gross. God, those are so horrible.
I love the way they eat. I love the way they taste, dude.
Oh, I hate them. They're so gross. They're so gross.
Dude, it's such a nice earthy taste. It tastes like sunflower seeds.
Well, you're the weirdo. You like a lot of that fishy. You like that earthy umami flavor. I don't. I like my wine to taste really earthy.
Comes from the earth. You want it to taste nice and earthy. You don't want it to taste like no chemicals.
Now, my wine, I want to taste like that, but otherwise, no. So, all right. So, guys, I owe you an apology. We're going to take a quick break here, but before we go to break, I do want to apologize to everybody. I am very sorry that we didn't do a show yesterday. I know I promised on Friday that since we didn't do a show on Friday, excuse me, that I would, if we didn't do a show on Friday, I would either do a late drunk show Friday night or I would do one on Sunday. However, I was whipped on Sunday after late Friday night. a pretty heavy event. I mean, figure I was providing 3 services at their event: DJ, lighting, photo booth. Even though Keely was there and her friend actually was there too, so we had an extra set of hands. It's still a lot of work, man. It's hundreds of pounds of equipment moving around, and I probably overshot a little bit saying that I would be able to do a show on Sunday because I forget how tired I am after these events the next day. And part of the problem is after my events, I don't know what it is, if it's my shoes or standing or probably just from being dehydrated. I get the worst leg cramps, and they wake me up in the middle of the night, and I can't sleep through the night after one of my events. So I get home late. As it is, I can't really get to sleep because I'm all amped up from the event. Then when I finally do fall asleep, 15 minutes later, I start getting leg cramps, or a couple, not even 15 minutes, but probably like an hour later, I'll get a leg cramp. And then it takes 15, 20 minutes for me to get this leg cramp to go away. When I'm talking leg cramps, I'm talking 9 out of the scale of out of 1 to 10 as far as pain. Like they are
Drink
absolutely.
some water.
I do drink some water.
No, you don't. You don't drink enough water, dude. Drink some water.
You sound like B1.
Problem solved.
I'm telling you, I do drink water. I've been drinking Gatorade, Pedialyte shit too to try to help with it.
No. Water. Just water.
I guess, but I did drink some. But I did drink water Saturday night. I specifically was drinking
like a Tempur-Pedic pad to stand on, like a shower mat or something like that.
You know what? I honestly do need to get one of those just kind of like soft pads to stand on. That would probably help with it because
it'll help with your knees and everything.
It's never my knees. It's never my joints. It's my
quads.
Nope. It's my shins and my calves and my in the weirdest muscle spots. Like right above my Achilles tendon, my calf will cramp up. On the front, the front shin muscle. So it's happening at the same time. So if I try to stretch the back one, the front one cramps. If I try to stretch the front one, the back one cramps. So there's nothing you can do other than just sit and wait in pain until either one of them starts to mellow out. And it's awful. It's absolutely brutal and awful. It's so painful. I hate it so much. So
I challenge you the next time that you have an event to drink so much water that you have to get up and go piss a couple times in the middle of the night, and guarantee your leg cramps are gone.
I already got to do that, dude. I'm 45 and
Oh,
I got
yeah,
botch,
you're 45 and you had a
botch
botched
vasectomy, dude. So it jacked my shit all up down there. So I already got to wake up and go to the bathroom 1,000 times. So so that's that, guys. I owe you guys really an apology for Sunday. I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but even Allie said in there I was doing a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a big room, running those lights all around. There's a lot of walking, all that kind of stuff. So usually at these events, I end up walking like half a mile just in circles, walking back and forth between everything. So, because I'm not just standing in the corner drinking beers, hitting on bridesmaids. I'm actually out and about, being a part of the not ingratiating myself, but running the show. You can't run the show from back behind the booth. You got to be out with the peeps. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the other stuff that I saw on the news today. I'll talk about, I watched a movie yesterday while I was relaxing and kind of catching up with myself and getting myself back on track. I watched a pretty good movie that I love. I think Mikey's already seen it, so I'll talk about that when we come back from break. If you guys have not already hit the like button on today's video, please do that. I would really appreciate it if you took a second, just hit the like button on today's video. If you're not already subscribed, that's the only way to talk in the chat. It takes about 10 minutes to be able to do that. So subscribe, and about 10 minutes later, you'll be able to talk in the chat. You can run your mouth all you want in there. I really don't care. Say whatever the fuck you want. And then from there, make sure you have your notifications turned on. I did get a thing from YouTube saying, I got a notification from YouTube myself telling me that a lot of notifications have not been being sent out for some reason. So if you're not getting your notifications, you may want to turn it on to all notifications because it's not doing it for all of them sometimes. It's a problem on their end. They notified me about it, and they said even suggest to your followers. This is from YouTube. Turn on all of them because for some reason the sums aren't working. So, and I try to be cool with not bombarding you guys with content. So like when I'm posting the highlight videos, I'm not sending out notifications. It's really just when we go live or if I have an update. So that's why I always recommend to everybody to make sure that you have the live videos all set up. So also while we're in break, if you have not already taken a second to follow me, if you do not already follow me on all the socials, make sure you do that. Go follow me on Instagram, @AnotherDumbShow, TikTok, @AnotherDumbShow, X, formerly known as Twitter, @AnotherDumbShow. Take a second, follow me there. I posted a story that we're going to talk about in a little bit. A story that I really did not see coming. Oh, that's funny. And that'll make sense in a minute. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. Hey, if you've not already gone and gotten yourself some delis, make sure you do that. If you're enjoying happy hour with us, yeah, do that. Second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. Put those kids to bed, have them go watch a TV show. I don't care what you do with them. Just put them in another room so you can come in here, chill out the rest of the night, have yourself some lavender, and enjoy the rest of Another Dumb Show with us. So we'll be right back. Sit tight. Hang on. Hello. Welcome back. There we go. That was weird. Hello. Welcome back to another Dumb Show. I'm another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining us streaming on issue number 84. I appreciate you guys spending your night with us. I really do. I know I don't say that. Maybe I don't say that enough, but I feel like I don't say it. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I feel like I don't say it enough, but I just want everybody to know how much I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me every night. So I really did feel like I let you down on Friday. I hate, I felt bad, I felt bad Friday. I felt bad Sunday. So I apologize for letting you guys down. I don't like not being here for you. I feel like I let my friends down. I even left old Mikey hanging yesterday. I was in do not disturb mode yesterday. I didn't want to talk to really anybody or anything. Just wasn't in the mood. I was in one of those turn on a movie and keep the blinds closed kind of moods yesterday for whatever reason.
I kind of caught that vibe even without your text, and I was like, you know what? I assumed that you had an event. I know that you went out on Friday.
Yeah.
And then it was the dude, how did it go for you tying one on Friday and then an event on Saturday?
Actually, not bad. You know what? It actually was a good move the way I did it because it was not too late by the time I got home. And I knew that, I knew I was, like, when I say drunk, I was not like sloppy drunk. I was just above tipsy. You know what I mean? So it was just more, it was like what I would do.
Nice area.
Yeah, what I would do, like here, maybe just a little bit heavier. You know what I mean? Just like one or two more than I would have. So I don't know. I think maybe I had 7 beers, I think. So, I mean,
I'm so jealous.
But I was eating while I was doing it and stuff, you know, so I was okay. I was walking around at some points. So I didn't feel completely obliterated. I just knew that if I kept going, I was going to be in trouble. So it was actually a veteran move, knowing that I had to work the next morning. And you want to know what it really was that was freaking me out more than anything? These fucking uplights. I wanted to get them. I wanted to get home and turn them on to charge, because they charge in time. I had ample time. Because I was tipsy and had these hiccups. The hiccups were out of control. They were making me nuts. They were making me crazy, and I never.
You can't like getting the hiccups for me is usually at a point where like I'm ready to go puke and rally.
I couldn't get them to stop. They wouldn't. I couldn't burp. I couldn't squeeze them out. You missed this. I talked about this at the beginning of the show, but that was really what sent me home, was knowing that I couldn't stop hiccuping, knowing that I was going to get too drunk, and the uplights needed to get turned on. Just need to flip the switch on the power strips to get them charging up, because I wanted to make sure they were good for the next day. And so I was just having anxiety about that. It was kind of like overwhelming my time a little. Not overwhelming, but it was just in the back of my mind.
It was your subconscious telling you to get the hell out of there before you drank too much.
And if I was worried that if I drank too much, I wouldn't remember to turn them on when I got home. All that stuff, even though I'd set an alarm for myself, and I would just turn it off or whatever. So it was me just getting out ahead of it, to tell you the truth. So, speaking of downtown Cleveland, apparently Elon Musk was in downtown Cleveland today. His private plane was here today for some reason.
That bitch.
Yeah, I know. What a puss. Did you see the text messages between...
Oh, dude, he's got excuses like assholes, man. Everyone's got one, dude. What a joke this guy is.
It's bad. He really did make himself look like a real bitch in this text message exchange with Mark Zuckerberg. I love what he's saved as in Mark's phone, by the way. I didn't
see the text messages. I just read some statement that Zuckerberg released talking about the whole thing and how Elon's ducking him.
Oh, this is why. Yeah. So there's a text message exchange between the two of them. Mark Zuckerberg has released the picture of, it says, so it's Elon 22 new cell. Elon asks him, and I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that, want to do a practice bout at your house next week? What the fuck? Can you imagine Conor McGregor sending a text message to Floyd Mayweather? Hey, dude, you want to go in your backyard and do a few practice rounds prior to our fight? I mean, like, what the fuck? What? What are these people? What is Elon Musk thinking? Is he just thinking that, like,
I
what
have
is
no idea. Like
that's
I have like not that's like the
that's
guy's
one of
supposed
those.
to be a competitor. Like they talked a little bit of trash. Like they're supposed to be building like some type of like promotion for this. Like if they want to raise money and not make it
Well,
seem like it's a joke.
well, I think that's the difference between the two of them. Mark Zuckerberg actually wants to fold Elon Musk up like a pretzel. He wants to get him in some jujitsu because Mark Zuckerberg is eternally known as one of the biggest nerds in the world. I mean, he's never gonna like the Social Network made him look like such a tool. That movie about the beginning of Facebook. I'm assuming you've seen that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And he just looks like a tool, like in those Senate hearings and everything like that, when he was reading those statements and everything like that. I
He's
just everything about him, every interview is always just read, just
he's
absolutely gray human being.
oddball, odd human being. So he's trying to get some street cred, I think, by thinking. I think he thinks he's going to look kind of cool to the world finally if he can beat up somebody like Elon Musk, who's I don't know. Some people think he's kind of cool. Like he thinks he's cool. He went on the Joe
I think
Rogan's
both of
podcast
them,
and
I
smoked
think
weed and.
both of them got a little bit of that like special strength.
I I never thought about it that way. Maybe more Elon than Mark, but yes, I could see both of them being
I
on the
was thinking
spectrum,
that,
little
but then
spectrumy.
dude, I was thinking that too, and then like I remember like all the times watching Zuckerberg testify and everything like that, and just the absolute zero emotion on his face. And when he posts videos with his wife and stuff on Facebook, and it floods everybody's
Yeah.
timeline, and you just watch him anyways. Like
Well, he's
that
never
dude,
gonna
I mean,
he's never gonna outlive the picture of him on the surfboard with the white face. I mean, that's
no,
like a legendary picture. So here, Mark Zuck,
it's
white
got to be one
face,
of the first images that still pops up.
surf. Yeah, there it is. I mean, come on. I mean, everybody's seen it, but if you haven't, here it is. I mean, come on. How do you? You just look like it just looks like such a, he looks like such an idiot. So yeah, he's trying to. This is part of the reputation rebuild to try to make himself a little bit more manly, I think. So his response though to Elon's want to do a practice bout at your house next week is great. He replies back and says, if you still want to do a real MMA fight, then you should train on your own and let me know when you're ready to compete. I don't want to keep hyping up something that will never happen, so you should either decide you're going to do this and do it soon, or we should move on. I like that answer. Then Elon replies, I'll be in Palo Alto on Monday. Let's fight in your octagon.
Oh all right,
And then-
so some of them are a little bit further than others.
Yeah, so then here's one last one. I've not been practicing much apart from a brief bout with Lex Fridman today. While I think it is very unlikely given our size, and then he cuts it off, and then Mark just puts wow with a crying laughing face on it. So Mark Zuckerberg is very serious about this. Elon Musk is not serious about this at all, obviously. I mean, you don't call your competitor and say, hey, let's have a practice round. Even if it is for a even for charity, you don't soil or muddy the waters of the whole, thing by doing practice rounds like that. You're not going to do a sparring session with the person you're actually going to fight ahead of the fight. That's such amateur hour shit. Like, I don't even, what is he thinking?
I don't understand it. I don't get what's behind it other than the man just doesn't want to fight Zuck.
Yeah,
I think Zuckerberg took this a lot more serious than Elon took this and started doing all kinds of shit.
Sorry, hold on one sec. I got distracted by a chat message. I didn't understand what I was reading there for a sec, but okay. So yeah, there you go. That's what's going on with those two. I don't think that's officially going to happen. Like there was last week, I had a story I was going to talk about. They were supposedly going to do it in the Coliseum. It's back on. The fight's going to happen. And then shitty ass text messages from bitch ass. That's bitch made shit. From old Elon Musk, as Mikey would say. Bitch made shit. All right. Speaking of fighting in the octagon, did you see there's some new changes to the rules in UFC that are coming out?
What do you mean?
UFC has
No.
three new rules that are being implemented to try to try to keep fight. Well, first off, protect fighters a little bit more, and in protecting them, helping to make for better competition. So I'm interested with you being as big of a UFC fighter, UFC fight fan that you are, to get your opinion on
I'm really
this
curious about this.
So the first new rule is regarding cuts, because a lot of times somebody gets a bad cut and they just end the fight right? Because like somebody's eye gets split open and they're like, all right, this guy can't fight anymore. Now,
like his eyebrow is falling off his face.
Right. Now, a cut man is able to work on the injury in the middle of a round if it's caused by a foul, such as a headbutt or another type of illegal blow.
Okay.
So they can stop the fight mid-round to let somebody work on it. They're not allowed to work on anything else other than tending to that wound. So you're cool with that? You think that's fine?
I mean, if it's, I'm not a big fan. That means to get up to a 5-minute break, but rightfully so. I mean, if it is like a headbutt or something like that, then absolutely.
Yeah, if it's illegal, I think that's actually, and you split somebody's head open and then it just ends up being what do they call that? A draw then? What happens with that? The other person wins? If your head gets split open on an illegal move?
If it ends up, if the illegal move is what ends the fight, I'd imagine it's a no contest. But if it's, say, a headbutt happens in the first round and opens up a big cut over somebody's eye, and then in the second round that cut ends the fight, that's a TKO victory for the fighter that
had the
cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've never seen a fight end. The only time I've ever seen.
Wait, hold on. So the illegal headbutt, you could still win by an illegal headbutt if a round later it causes the person to have to stop?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's just good then. I like that. You shouldn't be able to win on an illegal move. I mean, even if it's a round later.
That's still going to be able to happen. It doesn't matter if you get a headbutt or an illegal elbow or your heads clash or something like that, and you have a big enough cut above your eye, you can only shove so much Vaseline into that hole before it starts to flop over.
Yeah, so, I mean, I understand, but I like the idea of at least trying to minimize ending a fight or giving somebody a win based on something like that. Because honestly, like if you're outmatched and you could slip a headbutt in there without people really knowing it. You know what I mean? You watch
guys do it all the time. That's when they rub their head on people if they just got a haircut. So they're trying to rub all the Vaseline and everything off their head because a dry surface for a glove is the best way to split the skin, and ripping the skin is a lot better than cutting the skin.
I see what you're saying, because you can't like see doesn't want to kind of naturally seal back shut right away. That makes sense.
That's how you get big chunks out of people's faces.
Oof, jeez. Well, speaking of taking chunks out of people's faces, now there's a new one too, also for another illegal blow. One of the big problems are eye pokes. Dudes getting thumbed in the eye all the time. So now when that happens, they would just call off a fight if somebody's eye goes wonky and you can't see her for, they just a minute or whatever. Now they get a 5-minute pause now.
They've always had that.
Okay. So now in addition to that 5 minute for recovery, they're allowed to be given a cold compress on their eye, and a doctor's going to come in and check to see if they can see.
So that's pretty much the same as what goes on right now, but they're not allowed the cold compress. But these guys don't ever it don't matter if they can see or not see. If the doc gets into the ring, they're telling the doc they can. They're looking all around, they're making up numbers that they see. They don't want to stop.
That's cool. All right. Well, I guess, they're trying to, so the only change there is the cold compress. That's it.
Yep, that's the only change.
Oh, that's stupid. I guess it helps.
They've always given 5-minute breaks for like eye pokes, nut shots. Those are usually it. That's the only thing that happens are eye pokes and nut shots.
Okay.
Most frequently, at least.
Well, now the third rule change is going to, quote, encourage more action and allow referees greater discretion to change things when a contest is stalling. So it's not just enough for a fighter to maintain superior position. if they're not trying to advance, cause damage, or finish the fight. Trying to win by avoiding losing is the phrase used by the commission, and that's what they're trying to negate. So if you get on top and basically just hold someone down for 5 minutes without trying to beat their face in or put them in some sort of submission, they're gonna get you up at this point. Which I think that's actually kind of good because it's really fucking boring when they're not when they don't
like
fight.
those fights.
See, I don't like when they're not, but sometimes they get to the point where they're not fighting for hand position. They're both just laying there catching their breath. And
Yes,
everybody knows
absolutely.
it.
And
Everybody knows
they
it.
should be stood up. Yes, absolutely. And there's guys that actually try to, but some of it comes to strategy. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's worked really hard and he's won the first 3 rounds, why not be able to coast the last 2?
And
know what I'm
also,
saying? If you don't have the power to put a guy out and your best way is to avoid getting punched by wrestling with him, absolutely. I think that's good strategy.
yeah, and if you're a little,
It's not fun to watch.
if you're a little heavier, if you're the heavier 2 or 3 pounds heavier, I don't know. You can be like, you can be a couple pounds heavier than the other guy, right? In some of these divisions,
No,
are you going to be
every one of
exactly
these
the
guys
same?
These guys, dude, you maximize your weight, and most of these guys. So, say any fighter that's fighting at like 185, these guys all walk around at like 215 to 230.
Okay.
So they're cutting that much weight down to 185 every time, and they can't rehydrate with IVs anymore. So even like some of these guys, like Alex Pereira, just fought at 185, and on fight day he was 215. He put on 30 pounds in a night.
Oh my God.
That's how much these guys deplete themselves.
Yeah.
And how much weight they can put back on. So the day of the fight, there's weights are grossly different.
Okay, so that was my point then. So the person that can actually be way out ahead in weight could use that to their advantage. They just literally just fucking lay on them because they're 15 pounds heavier than the other guy. So
and if they know somebody had a hard time cutting the weight, like some of these guys that have been doing it for a long time and come down a lot of weight, like they know that camp is a lot harder for them, and they know that they're completely depleted, so they can absolutely just lay on them and manhandle them.
Okay, well, so overall, okay with them. It doesn't sound like these weren't earth-shattering changes for.
I wish they'd bring back like soccer kicks and head stomps.
I liked it when they did have elbows. You're not allowed to throw elbows. Elbows to me were always good. I love a good elbow.
Oh, you're allowed to throw elbows forward, backward, spinning. It don't matter.
I thought they outlawed elbows. I thought you weren't allowed to when somebody's on the ground.
You can't throw. When they're on the ground, you can't elbow.
Oh, that's fun though. That's a move. That's a good move.
You can elbow elbow for like a ground and pound. You can't do those kind of elbows. You can't do a 12 to 6 elbow. So there's no like elbows this way.
Why? That's so fun. That's so because they're gonna crush somebody's face in.
Glancing elbows. That's how you cut somebody's face open.
I know. It just a nice big hammer elbow would be are fun to watch.
That's how John Jones lost his only fight.
He got hammer elbowed.
He was throwing those elbows and got disqualified. His only loss is a DQ.
Why did he do that? Just because he lost his temper?
No, he was winning the fight. He was doing everything he was supposed to. They just called illegal elbows and disqualified him. He was young. And he was fighting a favorite. Matt Hamill was the dude he was fighting. A famous deaf guy from RIT close to here.
Oh, okay. All right. So overall, okay with the changes. They're not that bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be different. Every gaming commission has different rules for what they can do and can't do. Like the Nevada Gaming Commission, the New York Gaming Commission, wherever they fight, they have a different kind of set of rules as to what they can stop for, what they can't stop for, how the doctors get involved.
This is according to this is the UFC and the Association of Boxing Commission making the decision. This is one of the first changes that have been made in 30 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's who this is. This is who made these decisions. So it's the UFC and this boxing commission. Oh, why did that go away? Damn it. I had a tweet showing it, but anyway. So yeah, okay, cool. Well, it'll be interesting to see if it keeps more action going. Maybe that'll get me more interested in UFC because I always feel like there's not enough action sometimes. It gets a little.
Oh my God.
I tell you, I get bored when they just start wrestling around. I get really bored. I really do.
Dude, some of those fights, some of the wrestling. Oh, see, I enjoy the wrestling stuff, like the grappling and a good fight on the ground, and that's not just a knockout battle.
Well, Speaking of good fights, Mikey, did you see what happened with retired NFL football player Michael Oher, the center of the movie The Blind Side? Do you see what's going on with this dude?
What? You mean that story isn't real?
Yeah, Mikey. It turns out,
What?
after all,
Who would have thought?
yeah, I'm totally blindsided by this. I didn't see this
I
coming
see
at
what
all.
you
I
did
swear,
there.
no, I swear to God, I did not. Like, I did not see this coming at all. I didn't know. I always just assumed it was like a really great, heartwarming story, and like how cool of a story of racial harmony and all this,
I thought
all
that
these
shit was way too good to be true.
heartwarming stuff. Well, it turns out that while it's sort of true, I mean, they did bring this guy out of poverty. They did take him into their home. They did he did get on the football team and became part of the family. All that's real. All that happened. But what turns out to be not real were the reasons why the husband and wife did this. It
They
turns
just
out
weren't honest and upfront that they were grooming an ATM.
essentially that's yes, they well, it turns out the reason, and I guess like the whole basis of the story was that this guy became part of their family, that they adopted him and he became part of the family, like legally adopted him. He signed papers he thought to become part, a part of the family. Well, the papers that he filed turned out to be conservatorship paperwork to allow Sean and Leanne Toohey. That's Leanne Toohey is who Sandra Bullock played. Tim McGraw was Sean in the movie. They signed a piece of paper petitioning, allowing them to become his conservators instead of his parents, which essentially means they make they have legal authority to make business deals in his name.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're going on to say that the Tuohys used their power as conservatives to strike a deal that paid them and their two birth children millions of dollars in royalties from the movie The Blind Side. Blind Side made over $300 million, and apparently Oher got nothing for this story, which I find hard to believe. He didn't get paid at all. He didn't get a paycheck for that. It talks about how much the family got paid, like, because they got $225,000 each to be in the movie, and then also they get royalties. What in the world? Why would he not get any money? He didn't get a paycheck for this at all. So I don't know if I buy that part of the story. I feel like they're leaving out a little bit of something there.
I mean, he definitely benefited. I'm sure that everybody, like all the commercials he became a part of and all the endorsement deals that he got following the release and success of the movie was all money that he took and spent willingly.
Yeah, but now they're saying that, yeah, that's great. Maybe, well, actually, they don't say he made really any in this at this point. They're kind of alleging that he didn't make any money in this. I'm assuming that the way the Tuohys tried to set everything up, and this is me just assuming this, that they knew this dude was going to get paid by the Ravens or whoever he got drafted by. He's going to get paid, so they don't really need to worry about him. They need to make sure they're taken care of. But pretty sure they were already pretty wealthy as it is.
Yeah, they were alumni at like Ole Miss or something like that, and they were donating to the team and shit like that.
He had boosters. I think he owned a bunch of Taco Bells, and so I mean he had a lot of money. And for whatever reason, they decided they wanted to use this guy to make some more money themselves. And this obviously is, to me, this is a hurt kid. This is a kid who went, you know what? I thought these people actually fucking loved me. And it turns out that they didn't adopt me after all. And they didn't maybe love me that much. And they are, they just use me to make more money for themselves. And so that's what he's actually saying. That the fact that they lied and said he was adopted is what actually is what enriched them, the fact that they lied and made it seem as though they adopted him and brought him into the family. And he's saying, you know what? You're right. Not only that, well, and he's not like saying this in the petition that he's hurt and he's sad by the whole thing or whatever. It's all very straight up. You motherfuckers ripped me off. Use my
Show
name.
me the money.
Yes, and now show me the money. So,
I think he deserves all the money. Those parents are a piece of shit.
I'm to a point. I mean, like I said, all the stuff that happened in the movie, essentially happened. It's everything that happened after that that continues. She goes on and
they saw
writing
like
books.
a diamond in the rough, and they were like, you know what? If we apply a little bit of pressure, we're about to get paid. So of course, let's invest. We're already millionaires. Let's throw 50,000 at a kid and house him and feed him and.
Well, here's a reply from Sean Toohey, Tim McGraw's character, or the person Tim McGraw played was. He said, "We're devastated. It's upsetting to think that we would make money off of any of our children, but we're going to love Michael at 37 just like we loved him at 16. I don't know. I think it's if he'd have been adopted by them, it says he would have been a legal member of their family. He'd have retained power to handle his own financial affairs. So why wouldn't they have just done that? Why wouldn't they have actually just adopted the kid, made him part of the family? If all the stuff they say is true, all the stuff that was in the movie was true, then they should have just adopted the kid. But you're right, it does look like they were just trying to. They kind of, like you said, saw dollar signs. We're going to take care of this kid. We'll bring him in. We're going to do everything that looks right in everybody else's eyes,
except for give him our last name.
Yeah, and make him an actual member of the family. Because. Man, that's crazy. Who'd ever? I truly never would. I mean, this was like supposed to be, it's so ironic and coincidental that this whole thing is called The Blind Side, because you really, this is a blindsiding kind of story. Because,
I always caught that feeling that they were doing that anyways. Like, I never thought it was that. Me and you look at the world two different ways.
I think so too, man. I think maybe I'm just naive. Maybe I'm a naive person. I don't know what it is.
You still got hope, which is a good thing. Get down.
Dude.
Get down.
Come on. What do you think that means?
I know.
It's not super. Not super. It means hope. So that's the whole point. So, I try to believe in the goodness of people. Maybe it's just that there's so many bad stories that when you see a story like this, there is so much division. That when you see a story like this that, seemed like it was legit, you want to believe it. Maybe I just wanted to believe it. Maybe his movies, maybe his books didn't sell as well as her book did or something. And so he's just mad that that he's not making as much money in retirement. I don't know. He says in his new book that the film depicting his life has been a large source of some of my deepest hurt and pain over the past 14 years. So that's bad news. I guess his relationship with the Toohey family started to decline when he discovered that he was portrayed in the movie as unintelligent. And that, he didn't get royalty checks from the movie. Wow. Jeez Louise. He's saying Oher's saying that the Blind Side hurt his NFL career. It clouded how people viewed him. Based on the film, NFL decision makers assumed he was mentally slow or lacked leadership skills. Wow. Boy, he's really laying it on thick. I got to tell you, man, he's really laying it on thick, man. These people took you out of the ghetto, bro. Took you into their mansion, put you on a good football team. Got you noticed the
movie did portray him as like an Eeyore type of character.
No, I don't remember him being that slow. I just remember him being a poor student. And what kid? And then when he was able to get some actual good teachers,
dude,
and
he didn't have any social cues or anything like that. And he was hanging out with them people. Those guys were smoking weed, and the girls were at the house, and he acted like a social pariah in there, like.
Hey, I don't think I remember that part, but I just I just remember that I just remember the scene of like her going into the ghetto and yelling at everybody. That one scene, and like, get the fuck out of here. There's no fucking way that happened in real life.
No, they would have punched her right in the face.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And hit her with a chair.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, the guy that got hit with the chair in the Alabama River brawl got arrested. And still,
The guy that got hit with the chair, or the guy that
the guy that did the hitting.
Okay.
that woman, she got arrested too. The woman who helped the white woman who jumped in on it, who you said was helping, she got arrested too. So all three white dudes, the woman that jumped in, and now the guy with the chair. Still nothing for the guys who ran up and attacked the guys on the boat, the black dudes that jumped up, hopping and skipping their way over, trying to break the guy's boat and punching the other guy in the face. Nothing. So, I have not been ignoring the chat, guys. I just, you guys were telling dad jokes in there for a second, so I just got distracted and decided I wasn't going to watch the chat for a second. But then I did have Drew.
Distracted.
What's that?
I said I would have been distracted. Kirk Cousins jokes, man.
Yeah, I'm not against dad jokes. I'm just was not talking at all about anything that had to do with dad jokes. So I don't know what the fuck. Who cares? Anyway, so Drew though was kind enough to gift 5 Another Dumb Show memberships out. So I just want to say thank you to Drew, and then welcome Carrie, Tim, CYX, Brap, and Randy120 are officially members of the League of Dummies. And of course, you can be a member of the League of Dummies. All you got to do is hit that join button. Once you hit the join button, you are now an official member of the League of Dummies. So I do appreciate that. Thank you guys so much, Drew. I appreciate you guys so much for doing that and helping each other out. Crooked Orchids is also back again as a member. Thank you very much. I appreciate Crooked Orchid. She said she wants to pet Mikey's cats. Yeah, Mikey, I don't know if you realize that, but one of your cats was over your shoulder for a lot of that last conversation.
I just shoved him down. He's an attention whore.
Yeah. No, I thought it was cute.
I'm about to invite a third cat into my house, to be honest with you.
Are you really?
Yeah, dude, there's this cat, and there's a story behind it. There's this little black cat that's been running around outside my apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a cute little guy. You know what I'm saying? He looks really small and everything like that. So I took pictures of him the other day because he came right up to my front door. I fed him a little bit of food.
Yeah.
He almost just came into my apartment. So I thought that was owned by the lady next door. And I talked to my parents about it, and they're part of some like community page that I'm banned from on Facebook, like Henrietta Highlights it's called. I got kicked out for machine cunting in the group. Back in like 2016. Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I'm not on Facebook. I can't. I'd be off that and kicked off that shit in 5 seconds. But yes, go ahead.
I haven't posted or commented anything in a while. Now I'm just true creeper on there watching everybody else's life and what's going on. To be honest, I follow mostly sports pages. But anyways, so I started talking to my neighbor today, and I was like, "Do you guys own that little black cat?" And he was like, "No, but that cat has been all over this Facebook page because I guess it's impregnated like 4 other domestic cats around here. Like people have like brought this cat into their house, and it like eats a meal, does this thing, and goes back out. And then
nice Playboy.
4 litters of kittens, no joke. They think it's all this one cat.
So they got it. So like you're gonna take him and get him snipped and go.
I'm either gonna take him or I'm gonna take one of his brood. My neighbor's got 4 kittens.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Somebody's got to get that cat snipped. Somebody's got to take it in and just get it snipped.
I know. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, you're just going to keep getting more and more litters out there, have more cats to feed. We got neighborhood cats around here. There haven't been as many lately. I don't know if it's because B1 doesn't live here anymore, and she's just a fucking cat lady, and they're just attracted to her. But there used to be
Piper.
Yeah, seriously, there's cat. Well, they're all over around. There's cats all over about her new place now. So I don't know what's going on there. Not nearly as many as there were. So yeah, that's that. I hope you get a new cat. I guess if kittens are fun, but you're gonna feel better if you take care of that cat and get it all all snipped up. And
The
what do you?
problem I'm having with that is if it's a feral cat, it's gonna want nothing to do with the inside.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, you can still go get it snipped just out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah, I don't got money like that. If I lived in the city of Rochester, listen, if I lived in the city of Rochester, they snip cats for free.
Oh, really? So
Yeah,
you have somebody who lives
stop
there?
all the.
Tell somebody who lives there, just like say you found it and just have them just
I
take
would
it
do
in.
that. I would have my girl do it, but she's about to do that with the dog, the stray dog that she just found. She can't bring two animals in there.
You guys are
And I don't
crazy.
got $600 to get this cat's balls chopped off.
No, I understand all this cat, all these dog things. I actually I gotta send some money to B1 because Darla's vet bill, and I have Darla, and I keep promising to send her money, and I always forget. So I gotta definitely gonna send her some money for the dog. But speaking of bills and B1, B1 had an eventful day today. This girl cannot catch a break. She's on her way to work today and was involved in a hit and run. She got off at the exit to go to work off the freeway. The light turned green, but it was like a left turn. And so everybody was, you got to wait for the other people to go straight or whatever. And so they couldn't turn left. But the car behind her just saw the light turn green and just stomped on the
Bingo.
gas, banged into her, and then she smashed into the car in front of her. And so now this is the aftermath of that because she went right in through the
Hitch.
the hitch. Yep, exactly right, Mikey. And that is a giant hole. It was a little hard for me to see what I was looking at when I first looked at this. I couldn't really tell.
It's the styrofoam behind it.
Yeah, I thought that I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. I couldn't tell that was like the whole thing had cracked and like the thing down at the bottom there was for some reason I thought her license plate holder just got ripped off. I couldn't, like, the dimensions on it are weird for my eyes, and I just couldn't tell that was an actual hole for some reason. I thought it was like some sort of goop that they used to hold on the steer or the license plate. But then I actually took a look at it and I figured it out. Or she told me, no, that's a big ass hole. So yeah, that's that. So thankfully everybody was okay though. But yeah, the person behind her fucking ran off after
What's
they
the back
did it.
end of her car look like? Does it look all right?
She sent me some pictures right before the show started, and I didn't get a chance to pull any of them. But it's actually not too bad. It's all scratched up and kind of dinged up, and I feel bad for her because like she's going to end up having to pay for it. She doesn't right now, but her car is leased, so she's going to end up having to get that fixed when she turns it in. Yeah, she's going to be screwed.
Well, she's got full coverage anyways, so
yeah. Guess whose policy she's on.
I was just about to ask you, is she still on your policy, bro?
So, yes. And I have to be honest with you, though. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if this medication is working or if I've just changed. In the past, this would have sent me into a complete, not rage, just an anxiety-filled, God damn it, it's going to fucking, the insurance policy is going to go up. It's going to have to pay more. I've been working all these years. I haven't gotten it, but I haven't crashed. Like in the past, that's where my brain would have went immediately. But for some reason, I just went, accidents happen. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? I just totally let it go. Didn't let it bother me.
Who are you? What?
It's not that I didn't let it bother me. It didn't bother me. It just didn't care. I was just like, oh, I'm glad you're okay. And I felt bad for her that it happened. I really felt awful for her. So I was, I did, I mean, I was a little bit tiny like, oh man, I'm, it would be interesting to hear what the insurance company says. And then she called me right before the show started and said, good news. I talked to the insurance company, and because there's a witness, they can, it won't be put on as like my fault. So as a policy. Right. So yes, so that is huge. That was a major bonus for us. The lady told her it won't affect the policy at all. So
there's obviously no damage to the vehicle that she crashed into.
none, no, because it was just the hitch went through her thing, and that
Yep.
she stopped just enough, I guess, in time to before like she went into their bumper or whatever. So thankfully she was paying attention enough so to hit the brake, I guess. So that's good. So yeah, that's that. So all right. Oh geez, I didn't realize what time it is. Holy crap. Amanda says don't let her make a claim. For the love of Satan, don't let her make a claim. No, I mean, yeah, that would be insurance fraud at that point. I think if she'd already talked to him, it's already done. She already called him and talked to him, and thankfully, there was a witness there to corroborate her story. And even though I don't think they called the police, I don't think the police got involved. But Brittany actually believes that the person that she hit may have been drinking, because she said that the person smelled like alcohol big time. And this was at 7:00 in the morning. So maybe they just been drunk might have been drunk from the night before. Who knows? I'm hoping that's just left over. They woke up and they still smelled like alcohol, that they weren't driving around drunk at 7:00 in the morning. So, all right.
Yeah, nobody would ever do that.
No, I did that plenty of times. I was usually the passenger though, thankfully. When I was partying and staying up all late all night long, my dude did most of the driving, I was the navigator, and I handled most of, because he was a good driver and I trusted him. So I handled cutting everything up, and I was in charge of all the beers in the back and everything. So that was my job. And I also, because when we, thank you, Crooked Orchids. Yes, no blow ups. It was a normal conversation, a super fan donation. Thank you so much. Yeah, no blow up, no nothing from me, from your old pal Dumb. I was cool as a cucumber about the whole thing. And I actually did send her one text where I felt like I implied to her that I was angry, and then I very quickly replied back and said, no, that's not the case. I'm not mad at you at all. I don't want to mess that up. So. Yeah, I have plenty of time for my insurance to get messed up, the kids and stuff. Nugget Man, good point. My kid Brady's going to be driving next year, so there's plenty of time for that to get screwed up. Fortunately, Keely's on her mom's, so I don't have to deal with that. So that's good news. All right, I know everybody's getting late. We should probably start wrapping things up here, but there is a quick update that I never got to. One of my... the story that your old pal Dumb was out ahead of before all the news outlets were talking about it. Your old pal Dumb was talking about it. We found out who the crazy airplane freakout lady was, Tiffany Gomez. We were able to identify her before everyone else was. And now, over the weekend, I think it might have even been Friday, old Tiffany has decided to finally break her silence. And I don't know if you know this, Mikey. Oh shit! What happened? Where's the audio? She wants to. She came out. She put a video out, and people are calling it an apology video, I guess. I don't know where's the audio. What's going on here?
We call it I want to stay relevant video.
What is going on here? What happened to my video? Oh no. My video got all screwed up. Oh no!
So what? We just tease
Son
it
of
till
a
tomorrow.
Bitch. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't work. Oh man.
Well, she's doing everything she can to stay relevant, so we're just helping her out.
Well, she did though. She's got a whole tour that she's on now. She relaunched herself, Mikey. Yeah, she did a whole. Well, she's a marketing executive. This is what they do. She wiped her entire social. She wiped her entire social media after this all went down, and then she went on to. Let's see. I might have it right here, actually. Nope, I don't have it. Damn it. All right. Well, screw it. We'll have to watch that video another time. I do have a video. Did you ever watch Orange is New Black?
No, I watched the British version.
There's a British version of that?
Yeah, it was. Oh my God, I can't remember what it's called. If you look it up real quick, it'll tell you. But it was on Netflix. I thought it was better than Orange is the New Black because I watched the first season of that.
Do you remember
It
what?
was like Wellington or.
Well, so you have not seen actual Orange is the New Black, the
Like a few
American
episodes here
version.
and there.
Have you seen? Do you
No,
remember
just a few episodes here and there.
Do you remember the character? I'll just show you her picture on the show. See if this helps. Actually.
Oh, what movie did you watch?
Oh shit! I never got to that, did I? Crap! I
No.
totally forgot about that. This girl. Do you remember this character?
I do. She's been in a couple other things too.
Yes, she's been in a few things actually. So, well, it turns out.
She was in Sons of Anarchy. She got beat up with a skateboard real bad.
Oh, that's right. She was in that, and I think she was in like some other stuff that I've seen. But there's a video that's come out about here that has people, or that she put out, that has people kind of concerned about her right now, and with good reason, because it's very odd. So I'll play this video real quick, and then I'll tell you what movie I watched, and then we'll wrap things up. But tell me what you think of this crazy ass video. And I want to play it tonight because I have a feeling tomorrow it's going to be going around everywhere. But so yeah, this is Taryn Manning from the Orange is the New Black talking about well, her most recent interaction with her new man. Play. Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? Why is that black? Why is that black? What is going on here?
Orange is the New Black.
There we go. Now there's no audio. What the fuck is going on with this thing right now?
Woof, does she look bad?
I know. All right, so here we go.
So I had to pull over because I'm just like, I don't want to like cause crashes because I'm just so rooted right now. So.
Okay, so
she's shot.
She's ripped, right? Obviously, she's
Yeah,
either
she's
drunk
shot.
or high on something. Obviously, right? She's messed up. So, wait to listen to what she goes on to say.
The man that I've been messing with is a married man, and every night, well, for about 3 nights in a row, or even maybe there's a night in between, I was licking his butthole.
She don't look that bad no more.
She just got a lot fucking hotter, didn't she?
What's that sore on her lip, though?
Exactly. You might want to be careful. So here it is, in case you missed what she said the first time, about the new guy that she's been with.
Or even maybe there's a night in between, I was licking his butthole. Yep. Because he liked it.
Yeah,
course.
who doesn't?
I didn't mind doing it.
God love you.
Does that bother? Is that weird? Yeah.
No.
And that is what demons do. So
Okay.
we drove all the way down to Newport Beach today so I could buy him a boat. I was so in love, so I thought, so I could buy this gentleman a boat. And I brought cash to put a down payment down. Like, I really loved him. I was like, yes, like, we're into the same thing, like, we're kinky, blah, blah, blah. And his wife, because he's married, and I feel so bad because I can't stand her. I can't stand his
Look at
wife.
her hand, the cross.
Because she wasn't even like, wait, what? You've been messing with my man? She said, you lunatic, you get out of my life or I'll get an RO on you. No, I'll put your ass in jail. Anyway, so I've been licking your man's butthole for weeks on end because he likes it a lot, and I do it to him, and he comes to me, and it happens. And that's a lot. I know it's a lot of information, but I'm the lunatic, right? No, I'm just single, very single. And he came to me. So you don't accuse me of being a lunatic, but I'll tell you one thing, lady. You want to put me in jail? I'll put you in jail so fast, Your head will be spinning. Don't you
Boo.
ever threaten me.
Yeah, Karen.
Booyah.
And I will show you how I do. Don't you ever threaten me when your husband came to me to get his butthole licked. Don't you ever threaten me again, Leanne. You dumbass. What are you thinking?
Oh, dude.
I
love
cannot
this
believe you. You've lost it. Not I. Not I. I brought your husband to Newport Beach. We drove all the way together. We had so much fun. He had his hand on my leg the whole time. Most of the time, finger banging me. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie anymore about it. You know, I had no underoos on. And every time, licking his fingers. And to buy him a boat. To buy him a boat. And all day we went on a boat. The boat that he wants. And I was going to buy it for him. And then he messed up real bad today. And you're coming after me. Nah, it ain't going to happen, lady. You made a huge mistake. In the name of, you're dusted. Dusted. I ain't scared of you. You should be scared of me.
Okay, now Amanda's in the chat saying that this is all fake. She's acting right now and telling you this isn't how she really is. This is legit her character. I kind of remember her character being like this, but what in the fucking world would be the purpose of doing this on an Instagram Live while they're in the middle of a strike? Did the strike end? Did I miss something? None of them are fucking working right now. Who's she auditioning for? What? No, this is
That definitely was not fake.
No, that was, I mean, her skin's all scabbed up. She's got crusty lips and everything. That was absolutely, that was hilarious, by the way. I thought that was fucking great. So even for her to be jacked up, she's pretty funny. That was good.
Did you not catch some undertones and some similarities to somebody in the chat, maybe?
I saw somebody saying that. I'm not mean like that. I don't judge people based on what they do or don't do with their personal lives. I let people be themselves. I don't
Yeah, if you're gonna lick butthole.
Hey, yeah, lick all the buttholes you want. Hey, I'd rather people not get so wasted that they do act like that. But hey, you want to lick buttholes, man? Hey, don't let me stop you. She's a champion. True.
Nothing feels better than a good scrub. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta be honest with you, never had it done, and I would never ever make a girl go down there, ever, never in a million years. That is a bad spot for any woman to be in. It's just bad. That'll pooper back there. That thing's worn out. You know what I mean? It's not from like.
Yeah,
well, I
okay.
mean, there have been a few.
Yeah.
There have been a few instances where I had to, do stuff on the old show. So yeah, there has been some kind of wear out in that issue. But I'm on the entrance. There's been some wear outs, but the exit has been worn out pretty bad. I was a lot of years as a big guy eating fucking 10,000 calories a day. So there's a lot of wear on those tires back there. You know what I'm saying? That tire's got some steel showing on the edges.
This reminds me, I sharted last week and it sucked.
You sharted last week? At work?
Dude, at work. Yeah, dude. It was the worst. I had to crawl into the back of my van with a bunch of blue towels and clean up a mini mess, bro. It was bad, bro. Oh.
I love it. Oh, that's great. Good for you, man. Good for you. Did you just go right back to work, or what did you? I mean,
Yeah,
did you
I
have
had to go right back
no
to
wet,
work.
no wet wipes.
No, I can't.
Oh.
I trust me. I'm prepared in my van.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you had wet wipes.
This isn't the first shot. No, I didn't have wet wipes, but I used some water and some blue towels. It worked just fine.
Good. All right. Well, at least you're cleaned up back there and not too bad. So that's gross. Yeah, cheesy ass syndrome at one point. No, I would never ask anybody to go down there and that. I mean, maybe after a real clean job, if they want to, I guess I'd let them, but I just don't. I don't know. Blue Wolverine said that old pooper back there has been worn out, is clipped. All right, perfect. Thank you. I didn't really mean it like that the way I said it, but it turns out that way. All right. I guess it's going to be hard to top that. Probably hard to get anything beyond that. That's going to be what was it? Oh wait, I did have this one last little clip that I've been waiting to play. Did you guys see what I posted on? I don't know if I posted on Instagram or if I posted it on Twitter. I can't remember where I posted it, but I saw a video. I was watching TV live the other night, and I'm pretty sure I witnessed a guy fart or the news person fart live on camera. And I'm not 100% sure which person it is, and I'm interested to see what you guys think about who should claim this. But here, check out this video and tell me what you guys think. Why is there no audio playing? Why is it not playing audio when I cut to... Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button for some reason. Tip shit. Dude just rips one on camera and Ashley Banfield laughs at him. Hold on.
Really, as we speak. But have they shared anything with you, given the fact that you were the person that brought this trove of sort of
One more
mysterious
time.
evidence?
Her laugh. Her laugh is what gets me. Now you listen close. Did you hear it, Mikey?
Oh yeah, there's two of them in there.
Okay, exactly. Now, the best part is her reaction. Because she's trying...
Stone-faced.
Yeah, he does not.
So, you know, I'm not sure if the police are telling you much, or if the police even really know much, because this is just happening really as we speak. But have they shared anything with you, given the fact that you were the person that brought this trove of sort of mysterious evidence?
Is he farting, or is he saying,
Oh, I don't know. Let's go back and check.
I think he's agreeing with her and making noises like,
Oh, I don't think so. I think those are full blown.
So much, because this is just happening really as we speak. But have they shared anything with you, given the fact that
Those are farts, Mikey. There's no
I don't
way.
know, bro.
There's
I'm
no
kind of on the fence now.
What? No way.
anything with you, given the fact that you... But have they shared anything with you, given the fact
No way.
Yeah.
No way. Because his mouth doesn't move. His head doesn't nod like he's going,
He's
nothing.
nodding with it. The second one goes
But
right
have
with
they shared anything with you, given the fact that you...
No way. I got to disagree. I'm calling fart. Chat, what do you think? You call fart? Or are you calling this Because Mikey now and I are in disagreement.
But have they shared anything with you, given the fact...
That's a fart. How can you deny that's a fart? There's no fucking way.
Have they shared any...
It is.
I wish I could see. I'm trying to find the actual like wave to see if it looks different.
Anything with you, given...
I love this.
Anything with you, given the fact...
No, it's a
Shared anything with you, given the...
I don't know how you are hearing I don't know how you're hearing that at all. I don't know. Yeah. Like I'm reading the chat. I don't think anybody's agreeing with you, dude. I'm just seeing, let's see. Somebody busting ass. This guy's nervous farting like JLR. That's gas, my man. Skunking. Yep. I Twitch. I don't know what the Twitch is.
yeah, I think I'm grossly outnumbered here.
Yeah, it's looking like oh nope. Falcor says it's the dude making the noise agreeing. Wow.
Yes. Thank
I'll
you,
be
Falcor.
damned. See, Nugget Man says I think he thought he was off camera. Same thing. I don't think he realized that his mic is on until he's on camera. And then he gets cut to and it's too little too late.
But have they shared anything with you, given the fact...
That fart is not in line with those head nods going, They are not. No way.
He's nodding his head while he farts.
Yeah, because he thinks
No.
thinks he's off camera, and then he has to do something once he's on camera, and he can't talk over her to interrupt her. So it's just a.
He ain't letting flappers out like that.
Oh, I disagree, man. This guy's blasting us live on camera. That's what. Why else would she laugh?
I want to believe that it's a fart because she thinks it's a fart too.
That's what I'm saying. Why would she laugh
But
otherwise?
have they shared anything with you, given the fact that...
I could watch this all day. I don't know why I found this so funny. I must have rewound this and watched this even after I was done with it. 100 times because I found it to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen for some reason. I love when people get caught on camera farting. I probably should have pulled more clips of it, but yeah, I thought it was a good.
Now
good ripper.
I'll Pat is the first one to say first is a fart, second is an agreement. And I'd be okay with saying that to try to cover it up after that. I'd be all right with that.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah. All right, Pat. I'm on board with you, Pat.
No way. I agree. Disaster. That's a blapper drawl changer for sure. All right. That's going to wrap things up for us tonight on another Dumb Show. Mikey, I appreciate you hanging out, dude. How'd you bowl tonight? Okay?
I only bowled one game. I still can't move because that rib cage, dude. It's killing me.
Oh, still hurting. Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry to
dude,
hear
it's
that, man.
worse. It hasn't gotten any better.
Did you put some ice on it?
Dude, I'm using like 1,000 milligram CBD stuff. That's like an icy hot. I use that. I use ice alternating. Yeah, dude. It
Just
just
not-
it.
Just
Nope.
rib pain. Oh, man. You
Yep.
might have to stop smoking for a couple days and quit coughing.
Yeah, right, bruh.
All right. Well, I love you, dude, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Stay out of trouble. Try not to shit yourself while you're at work tomorrow.
No, I'll start again. I'm 4 or 5 days accident free.
Keep a little tally in your van. What a little whiteboard. 4 days shark free.
Bro, I'm good. I'm good for like 2 sharts a year, to be honest with you. Probably like 25 times in my 13-year career, to be honest with you.
B1's got a bad habit of she's a sharter. She sharted.
Yeah,
she sharted.
I'm sure she loves you sharing that shit.
She doesn't care. She's proud of her sharding history. She sharted at a Giant Eagle one time. She was in line at the grocery store. Happened right there. Was just stuck in line while she was paying, and so she just had to stand there with shit in her pants. I'm trying to think of the last one. It was a pretty good one too. Where was she? She might have just been at home. It might have just been a ripper, and she just blasted herself at home because I think we were
Dude,
talking on the phone.
One of my biggest fears is because I sleep naked as shit in my bed.
Yeah, I think everybody who sleeps naked feels that way too. Yeah, they're always worried about that. I'm worried like if I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, if I'm just like half not paying attention, like
And then
not
take a
wiping
seat
well.
back on the bed, you leave some skid marks on the bed, dude. It's
That's
like
what
my
I worry
biggest
about.
fear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thankfully,
dude.
no issues, but we're good to go. So yep, there you go. That's gonna wrap things up for us tonight, Mikey. I appreciate it, dude. You have a good one.
Love you too, buddy.
Love you,
See
bro.
ya.
All right, guys, thank you so much for streaming with us tonight. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I really do appreciate it so much. I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. If you've not taken a moment to hit that like button on today's video, please do that. Thank you to everybody who put the superfan donations in there, and thanks to everybody who sent out. I think Drew sent out gifted a bunch of memberships today, so thank you to Drew, and those of you who were able to add on your own membership if you did it renewed. I appreciate you doing that. Pat Wooey just said Barnyard B1. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. Barnyard 1 and Barnyard 2. There you go. So BYB1. There you go. Alrighty, guys. Thanks again for watching tonight. Hit that like button for me. Turn on your notifications. I'll be back live tomorrow at 7 tonight. I look forward to seeing you all then and there. In the meantime, we are out of here. See ya.